talk about the slow start. It seemed like y'all lacked energy a little bit tonight. Am I making a bad assumption there?
Yeah, look, I didn't feel like it was energy. We were awful on third down. We really couldn't get into a rhythm. It's something that we've got to be better at really in all three phases. Overall penalties weren't too bad, but in the kicking game we had three of them that were critical. I'm proud of how we fought back in the second half, played better football, not exclusively, but at times made enough plays to win the game.
Sean, what was your opinion of Justin? What would you think of Justin Herbert, especially there in the fourth quarter? It seems like he made some pretty big throws.
Yeah, listen, he's a good young talent. You could see. You don't feel like you're playing against a young player. He's someone that gets the ball out of his hands. I think he's got a promising future, and he's impressive to watch.
Sean, how large did you feel like that roughing the punter penalty loomed just the remainder of the game, kind of chasing points?
Say that again?
How large did you feel like the roughing the punter penalty loomed for you guys, just chasing points throughout the game?
Well, look, any of those, that's a possession penalty, and yet, we'll take a peek at it on film, but there's always that tough decision, I think, as you rush the punter for the official to make a call, roughing or running into, but all of them were significant, and fortunately we overcame them.
Sean, what was your initial impressions on Emmanuel Sanders' game tonight?
How did I feel like he played?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you assess his performance?
Yeah, I thought he played well. We started getting the ball in his hands a little bit later into the half and then the second half, but I thought he played overall. He played well. I thought a few of our, Callaway played well, playing a lot of snaps tonight, and probably didn't get Traquan as many touches as we would have liked, but overall, we found enough offense in the second half, really in the fourth quarter, to get the win.
Sean, we talked about the value of overcoming adversity last week. Did this game have the same effect, or this was a little more frustrating than some of the problems carried over this week?
No, look, every week, you look at it. It was a win. There are a number of things that we've got to clean up, and we'll get back to work here next week. We'll be in tomorrow. We'll be in the next day. We'll be able to address some of the things we feel like we haven't done well, and get ready then to start playing after the bye.
Sean, was there an adjustment in the second half, or was it just more of an execution thing for you guys?
Well, look, they did a good job of giving us a few different looks on early downs. We got a little bit more pressure from their defense, and I think, we made a few plays down the field. The third down throw to Cooks was a huge play. I don't know what the distance was. I know it was third and long. It was a great find by Drew. Defensively, we got the stops there, especially on the fourth down play there at the end. And I thought we hit their quarterback enough. He's pretty athletic. He got out of the pocket a few times and made some plays. A lot of different elements to the game, but it was good to get the win.
Sean, Will.
Go ahead.
Oh, Sean, will Michael Thomas' suspension just be one game, and how would you characterize that?
Yeah, I'll keep you posted. That's something we'll discuss, and we'll let you know at the time when the time is right.
Sean, how did his absence alter the way you?
I want to talk about the players that played tonight.
Payton's versatility, does it make that touchdown possible?
It was a good play. It's kind of a run-pass option. They covered it fairly well, and yet when they do that, there's the numbers then, you have that one extra player relative to, the quarterback that can carry it. That was a good way to finish that drive.
Sean, did you go next down the sideline on that last drive, next to the last drive?
Pardon?
What did you see on that reception by Alvin Kamara on that next to the last drive of regulation?
It's a pretty big play. You know, it's kind of a little choice route pump. It's a good play over his head. He kind of hit the target a little bit on the defender. The kick return in overtime was a big play. It brought us out across the 30 and gave us a little momentum. Last question.
Coverage questions. Is that just guys having their eyes in the wrong places? And is that something you guys can fix there?
The one was a big play that we got to clean up, and it's, you know, kind of a post spear. We got to get on top of one, and it's something we'll be able to clean up, and it's something that we have to. Like I said, there are a few things offensively and defensively that have, I don't want to say plagued us, but we haven't been as good at in the first quarter pole of the season. We've got to improve on those areas. One last question.
Sean, when you're coming in like this and going into a bye week, is it ever harder as a coach to impress upon to the players the things that need to be cleaned up? I mean, can a win mask some of the problems that you see in film?
No, we try not to let it either way, a win or a loss. I mean, the film is important for us to make the corrections and teach from, and you know, that's really the essence of what we do in the beginning of the week is making the corrections. You know, we talk about that race to improve and to get better. We're in that race. All right. Thank you.
Ready, Garrett?